There's a madanga behind somewhere, isn't there? Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madan Mohan Govinda Gopinatha Madan Mohan Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Kalindi Ramuna Jaya Jaya Kalindi Ramuna Jaya. There's a songbook somewhere. I hear it. I've got it. It's here actually. Keshigata Vamsivata Dvadashakana Keshigata Vamsivata Dvadashakana Jaha Sabha Lila Kahela Shri Nanda Nanda Jaha Sabha Lila Kahela Shri Nanda Nanda Shri Nanda Yashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagan Srinanda Yashoda Jaya Jaya Gopagan Shiramari Jaya Jaya Denu Vatsagan Shiramari Jaya Denu Vatsagan Jaya Vishavahu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Vishnu Jaya Kirtida Sundari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Pira Nakari Jaya Purnamasi Jaya Pira Nakari Jaya Jaya Gopishwara Vrindavanama Jaya Jaya Krishna Vrindavanama Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhaktu Ijara
Jaya Jaya Krishna Sakha Bhaktu Ijara
Jaya Rama Katha Jaya Rohini Nanda Jaya Rama Katha Jaya
Rohini Nanda
Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Basa Jaka Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Basi Jaka Jaya Dija Patni Jaya Nada Kanyagan Jaya Patni Jaya Nada Kanyagan Bhakti Teyahara Aelo Govinda Kara Bhakti Teyahara Aelo Govinda Kara Shiva Samandala Jaya Jaya Radha Shyam Jaya Jaya Rasa Lila Sabha Manoram
Jaya Jaya Rasa Lila Sabha Manoram
Jaya Jaya Jwala Rasa Sabha Rasa Sar
Jaya Jaya Rasa Rasa Sarva Rasa Sar
Parakiya Bhave Jaha Bhajete Prachar
Parakiya Bhave Jaha Bhajete Prachar
Shri Jannava Pada Padma Korya Smaram
Janava Pada Padma Koriya Smaram
Dina Krishna Data Kohe Nama Sankirtan
Dina Krishna Rasa Kore Nama Sankirtan
Dina Krishna Dasa Kohe Nama Sankirtan
Dina Krishna Rasa Kore Nama Sankirtan
Hey Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan
Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan
Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan
Shri Govinda Gopinath
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Go Premanandi, Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki. Hare Krishna. Blooming noisy these fans, huh? Pardon? Oh, the air conditioner. Maybe we don't need the fans if we have the aircon. Turn off the fans. Or just press the buttons. No, the other one, the left-hand one. Not that one, that's it. The same up there. Oh, you can leave it on. Do you want to keep it on? You can leave it on. Leave it on.
The noise is coming from this machine.
Huh?
The noise is coming from there.
Yeah, it's coming from the air conditioner. If it doesn't come from there, it comes from the fridge. If it doesn't come from there, it comes from that room over the corridor there. If it doesn't come from there, it comes from the gauchal outside. The dog barking and various sounds coming in. At least the walls are thick. You can't hear the snoring next door. They're very thick walls, you know. Yeah. They don't do that in the West. The walls are very thin. You can hear everything from the next door room usually to do. So I know, we'll read something from the Bhagavatam, I guess. With the accompaniment of the hammer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Well, we're reading from the 14th chapter of the 10th canto. We just finished the 13th chapter. So this is the first chapter after Srila Prabhupada completed his translation. Well, he didn't complete, but when he finished his translations of the Bhagavatam in 1977, around about this time, a little bit earlier, the 13th chapter was completed, but he didn't do the 14th chapter. So this has been completed by disciples of Srila Prabhupada, as you mostly know, headed by Hridayananda Maharaj. And some of the purports are taken from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada commented on some of the verses himself. He translated some of them in other places and commented on them. And the commentary which the devotees of ISKCON, Prabhupada's disciples, have done is wherever that's available. Of course, the Krishna book is also there. The Krishna book is also there, and Prabhupada summarized the pastimes in the Krishna book, so that may also be quoted in these purports sometimes. And at other times they're taking the commentaries, as Srila Prabhupada did when he compiled his purports. He would refer to the commentaries of past acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Sridhar Swami, and others on these particular verses from the Bhagavatam, from the beginning to the end actually. And particularly in the 10th canto there were many commentaries of different acharyas on the 10th canto which are available, maybe not all of them, but most of them are available in English text now. I don't know if Sridhar Maharaj's commentaries are available in English, are they? Why not? He's the main commentator. It's funny, huh? We have Sanatan Goswami's We have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, I think, Jiva Goswami's. Or we have Gopal Champu, we have Hari Vams, we have so many commentaries on the 10th canto, but I don't think that Sridhar Swami's commentaries are available. Well, he's considered to be the main, or at least the original commentator on the 10th canto. And Lord Chaitanya accepted him as the authorized commentary. So, but I don't know, I've never seen an English version of that. Why, I don't know. Good question. Maybe somebody can answer it or do something. So we'll start with the first verse. I'm just going to read the English because, one, we don't have much time, and two, the verses are very, very long. So this is Lord Brahma, as you probably know. Maybe Emil's not familiar with this, but the paper's not working, you're writing on your hand. Why are you writing on the hand there?
The end is like the to-do list, you know.
Pardon?
The end is what I need to do after. To search about what you just seen.
What you have to do
say,
after?
Yeah, I will search it, but if I just write, I will not remember. So I write on my end, and I know at 15 minutes of the video you say something we need to
Write
say.
all the way up your arm, all over your chest, down the other arm, onto your legs. You have to put one on the forehead as well. Always remember Krishna, never forget him, okay? You don't. You have a little tattoo. And use the paper as much as you can. So what has happened in the 13th? What is it, the 13th chapter of Bhagavatam, 10th canto? Is that Lord Brahma has endeavored, at least you've heard about it. He endeavored to steal the calves and the cow boys from Krishna, to test Krishna's strength, to prove his supreme position, to facilitate the unveiling of even more incredible pastimes of the Lord. Those were the positive reasons why Lord Brahma endeavored to steal away using his own mystic powers. He tried to steal the calves and the cowherd boys from Krishna, and the pastime is very sweet and it's very childlike, you could say, and inconceivable in the outcome. Inconceivable. How Krishna is sitting there on the banks of the river Yamuna after having killed the Aghasura demon. The Aghasura demon, the boys were playing very happily in the forest, and suddenly this enormous serpent appeared on the scene, Aghasura. He was a horrible demon and assumed an enormous form, miles long, a massive serpent demon. They were mystic power. He was able to do this. And with the intention of swallowing Krishna and the cow boys. As you know, the cow boys entered in, but Krishna didn't enter into his mouth. Eventually he entered in and showed his own power, much greater than Aghasura, and killed the demon. So Brahma was watching this. The demigods were watching these pastimes. They were privy to the pastimes. Just like you may go to a cinema and watch a movie or a drama, isn't it? Now people don't, they watch on their mobile or phone somewhere. They watch, entertained. So it's a little more than entertainment, of course. These are transcendental pastimes of the Lord. They appear to some degree human-like. But the demigods are watching and they're astonished to see the power of Krishna. Even this Aghasura demon was so great. The demigods were afraid of him. Powerful demon. He could assume different forms. He was the brother of Putana and Bakasura. Bakasura was killed by Krishna. Putana was killed by Krishna. So he was determined to get revenge. But he was also killed by Krishna. In a very transcendental way, he gained liberation. and the cowboys all enjoyed. But then what was happening, they were having a great time playing on the banks of the Yamuna, and as you may know, it was very hard to stop them playing. And if you have any experience with children when they're young, sometimes it's hard to stop them playing, isn't it, Madhavi? You can't even get them to stop for eating. It's very difficult. What to speak of go to school or something like do your homework or whatever. Very difficult. Very difficult. So they'd be arranged, a pastime arrangement, that the demons would appear just at the right time, either just before breakfast or just before lunchtime. So this was a lunchtime one. So the Aghasura demon appeared, sometime just before lunch and forcibly stopped the play. Kind of another type of play, but their playing stopped because then Aghasura intervened and they went into Aghasura. And then when they came out again, then it was time for lunch. So then, they were able to take their lunch. So the demons were kind of a little bit like, facilitating Krishna's pastimes to take lunch and breakfast. 1 or 2 would come every day. There's only about 14 mentioned, actual demons. I mean, if you count Brahma as a demon or Indra as a demon, you have a few more. But there's only about maybe 16 demons mentioned in the Bhagavatam, in the Vrindavan Leela. But obviously there were a lot more that we don't hear about. Prabhupada said usually 1 or 2 every day would come and, Krishna would just kill them. Come in. Someone can open the door. Welcome, I guess. Welcome. Hey, Garima. Haribo. Hey, Krishna. Haribo. Oh. Welcome. Welcome. You can come forward onto the mat here if you want. Good to see you. Anybody like some water? Water? Well, are you staying for the weekend?
No, we are leaving tomorrow.
What time?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Afternoon.
We will come back again. This time we have a family and they are trying to be devotees. They are roaming on the streets right now.
In Vrindavan?
Yes.
Roaming on the street. They have nowhere to stay. They're lost.
No,
They're lost in Vrindavan. They're homeless.
I hope.
They're homeless.
No, they are actually went outside to have some tea. Which they are not.
Tea.
Yes.
Tea.
Yes. So he said we won't be able to join you. But we will come back again soon. Not with them this time.
You still have a French phone number.
Yes.
Never changed it.
No, it's working, so it's working.
You sure you're okay? We've only got 3 or 4 cups. I don't think we have enough cups.
You want some water?
He's growing up now, huh?
Yes.
Knows how to look after herself a little bit more now, huh?
Yes.
Not so enthusiastic.
She'll be 4 tomorrow.
4 tomorrow!
Yeah.
Wow, what a nice birthday present in coming to Vrindavan, huh?
Yes.
You're wasting your time there. It's a default. It's a default.
Yes.
Just goes immediately back in there. Huh? It's normal for kids. So they're watching these wonderful pastimes of Krishna. Then Krishna and the cowboys are taking their lunch on the bank of the Ganga, of the Jamuna. They're a little tired after this exciting pastimes and playing all morning. And then, of course, Lord Brahma's still watching. And he's now this is very perplexing because they've all got their lunch packs. Mother Yasoda would get them their lunch packs. As you heard from Radhanath Maharaj a couple of days ago, sometimes it's very hard for her to let them go into the pasturing grounds for the day. She would try to hold them back by various means, but eventually they go. But they would always go with their lunch packs. Sometimes the lunch packs would be brought to them, but somehow they all have their lunch packs. You going to school? She go to school? Does she take her lunch pack with her?
Yes.
You take your lunch pack? She's learning English, Hindi, what else?
She speaks her language. Anything she.
Special language, a mixture of everything.
Mixture of everything.
Some Hindi, some English, broken English. So lunch packs were there, and they're opening their lunch packs. Each boy's parents have given them lunch packs. And then they're playing around, stealing each other's lunch packs. You know, sometimes you put your lunch pack down, you go back for more, and you turn your head around, there's no lunch pack left, the boy's stolen it. Where's my lunch pack gone? And they're all playing different games like this, teasing each other. And Lord Brahma's watching this, and he's seeing Krishna playing like a little baby, a little child. He's wondering, what is this? This is my worshipable Lord playing like this? Killing demons, of course, that is quite easy to relate to. Maybe having loving relations with the gopis and with even Mother Yasoda, but this is like a little unusual, playing around, stealing lunch packs and getting upset and all kinds of things, you know. Accusing each other and so on. This is really, and you know, mixed reasons. We heard the positive reasons just now, but he was also a little bit kind of questionable whether or not, is this really my Lord? I'm going to test him. And Lord Brahma has great mystic power too, greater than anyone else, any other conditioned soul, that's for sure. And he's the secondary creator of the universe, so he's very powerful. So he thought to test the Lord to see if this is really his worshipable Lord or not. So he devised this plan to test the Lord's opulences, his power. And as Krishna and the cowherd boys, Balaram wasn't there that day when this pastime took place. I think it was his birthday or something, his birthday. Quite a few pastimes take place on Balaram's birthday. It's interesting. The reason being so that Balaram is not present there, and it creates extra excitement to the pastime. And so then Balaram wasn't there, but the cowherd boys were there, and the calves were there. They were looking after calves at that time. They're still in the Pogunda age, as we heard the other day, cow herding pastimes. So then the calves went into the forest, nice green grass, and it said that they sort of wandered off deeper into the forest looking for even fresher grass, you know. It's natural. Everybody, the cows do that. They look for grass which is fresher all the time. So they went deep into the forest, and when the cowherd boys saw that the calves were no longer in view, they got worried. Where have the calves gone? Where have the calves gone? So Krishna said, oh, they must have gone deeper into the forest. But don't worry, you stay here and carry on enjoying your lunch. I will go and retrieve the calves. So Krishna, of course, I mean, you think, well, would they agree with that? Well, Krishna, of course, is able to achieve anything he likes, so by his will, they all agreed to this suggestion, and Krishna went off into the forest searching for the calves, but nowhere could he find them. He went into the valleys, the caves, everywhere. He went everywhere looking. Nowhere could he find the calves. He already knew what was going on. So then he came back to the bank of the river Jamuna, and when he got back there, the cowherd boys had also disappeared. They were nowhere to be seen. He knew what was happening. He knew this immediately. This is Lord Brahma's trying to play some mystic power, showing his mystic powers. But Krishna then was thinking, well, he wants, one of the main factors of Krishna's, let's say, purpose of appearance in Paritranaya Sadhanam is to please his devotees. So he wanted to please Lord Brahma as well. So he allowed this pastime to evolve. He wanted to please the calves and the cowherd boys also. But particularly he wanted to please the residents of Vrindavan, the Gopas and Gopis. And he also wanted to please himself. Hare Krishna. Oh wow. How did you find out we were here?
I just live a couple of flats next to you.
Oh, your neighbor also?
Yeah.
Do you know each other? Okay, you could hear the noise coming from here. We're very noisy. We have plenty more. There's loads more on the bed. No shortage of cushions. Get one. Bring a cushion. If you need a chair, you can take this chair. No, you may need a chair. You have an elderly frame. And he was a cushion. I need another cushion here. Whoops. So Krishna wanted to satisfy, plus he wanted to perform a wonderful pastime which would be available for all future generations, but particularly to satisfy the gopis and the cows, to satisfy the cows and the gopis, because they all wanted to, they were all kind of transcendental, you could say, envy in one sense, you could say, transcendentally envious of Mother Yasoda, because Krishna was her son. So they all wanted to have, they wished that they could have had Krishna, or they could have Krishna as their son also. They loved their children in that sense, those who appeared to be in the mood of their children, and but they loved Krishna much more. So they were hoping that they could have Krishna as their son. Others often do that. And so Krishna wanted to fulfill their desire. He fulfills the desires of his devotees. So what to do? Krishna, was he to go back to Vrindavan alone? Enter into Vrindavan? I'm sorry, I don't know what happened to your sons. They all disappeared. Maybe they drowned in the Jamuna, I don't know. They're all gone. Never mind. Deino sminyata dehe komaram yovanam jura. Don't lament. Huh? The wise lament neither for the living nor the dead. Why are you crying over your sons? You're not the body. Was Krishna going to do that? Go back to Vrindavan like that? No way. Devastating for the cows, losing their calves, the cow boys, the gopis and gopas losing their sons. It would be devastation. It would be impossible. Well, what would Krishna do? He'd have no one to play with anyway. Right? What a boring life. His life is all play. So what did he do? He decided to expand himself. This is, well, maybe somebody can expand if you're really if you're an expert yogi a little bit, but not like this, not like Krishna's expansion. It wasn't just numerical. It wasn't just quantitative, but it was qualitative. Quantitative, some yogis can expand a little bit, but not qualitative. In other words, they can't manifest unlimited forms, and also each of those forms exact replica of the original calf or cow or boy, not just in the form factor, but in the attitude, in the behavior, everything about them, their natures, identical. Nobody could detect that anything had happened as such, because they were behaving exactly as the sons were behaving, the gopas, exactly the same as they were before they were stolen by Lord Brahma. And the calves the same. So the mothers didn't know that there was anything had happened at all. That's why for 1 year no one spoke about the Aghasura demon, because nobody knew about it. It was in a hidden part of the forest somewhere. And the expansions of Krishna never spoke about it. The calves and the cowherd boys who were privy to that killing of the Aghasura demon were, well, there's different aspects to that were mentioned in a minute, but the calves and cowherd boys who went back to Vrindavan looked just the same, behaved just the same. The only difference was they were Krishna himself. They weren't the servants of Krishna exactly, although they're behaving like that. They were expansions of Krishna himself. They were Vishnu Tattvas. They weren't, because they're not Jiva Tattvas either, these calves and cowherd boys. They're eternal associates, but they're acting as in the mood of Sura Shakti Tattva. Their internal potencies were energies of the Lord. but they're not the Supreme Lord himself. So now they are. So the mothers, they're all wondering why my affection for my son has increased so incredibly. It's just the same as it is for Krishna now. They didn't understand it was Krishna. Same with the cows. Their affection for the cows was just the same as it was for Krishna. It went on for a whole year like this. Then of course eventually after just before the year ended, then Balaram noted something which made him wonder, there's something fishy going on here. Something funny going on here. And he queried Krishna, and sure enough, Krishna revealed what had actually happened to Balaram. But it was unknown to everybody else. And then after 1 year of time, Lord Brahma reappeared. It was just a flash of a moment in his lifetime, because as you know he lives a long time comparatively. So just a moment after he'd stolen the calves and the cow boys, he was thinking, oh my goodness, what have I done? He was, when you do something naughty, sometimes you immediately have this feeling, oh, you've done it, it's too late, but you kind of feel there's something very, there's going to be some reaction here. There's going to be some reaction. And then he immediately came back, and of course what did they expect to see? Maybe Krishna searching for the calves or something. But instead, he saw like nothing had ever happened. Krishna was in the same place playing with the cows and the cow boys. Well, the cows were grazing. Cow boys, they were having their lunch together as if nothing ever happened. He was completely perplexed. Completely perplexed. He didn't know what's going on. Did I not steal them after all? Or did they escape from the caves? What's going on here? So he checked, he hidden them all in caves, you see, deep in the mountains. Put them to sleep by his mystic power. So then he saw they were still in the caves. He looked and they were still there on the bank of the Yamuna. What's going on here? And Krishna could see he was getting really bewildered. By his own mystic power was bewildering him. I stole them, but they're still here. He was bewildered. So then Krishna revealed the real truth, and all those forms of cows and cow boys suddenly transformed into four-armed forms. Four-armed forms. Brahma was stunned, completely stunned. And then the Lord also called all kinds of Vishnus, Brahmas and Shivas from other universes who all came there worshipping these Vishnu forms, and Brahma could see that he was insignificant compared to all these other Brahmas. What to speak of Krishna? His mystic power, he could see, was just nothing. You ever seen a glowworm? You know what a glowworm is? What they call them in India? A glowworm. At night time, sometimes these flies, they have some light. You've seen them? They have lights, they're little tiny torchlight. They call glowworms. Sometimes worms have lights. That's a glowworm. Sometimes worms.
Firefly as well.
Yeah, fireflies at night. Oh, glowworms. Some worms have little lights too. They can see where they're going. I guess when they're going underground, they need lights. Coal mining, they have their light. I don't know if they have that underground, but sometimes the insects, they have some kind of mystic power also. They have some light in the darkness. You can see all these lights in the darkness as they fly around. Very prominent in India, particularly in the villages.
We have in Mayapur also, actually.
Mayapur, yeah, sometimes. So how powerful are they in the daytime? Nothing. You can't see anything. Similarly, the example given in here is like the snow. Now, many of you have not perhaps visibly seen snow. I don't know. Maybe you have been in the Himalayas or somewhere. But if you generally in India, it doesn't snow unless you're in the mountains. So during the daytime, the snow may sparkle in the sun. It kind of glimmers. But at nighttime, it's dull. You can't see it. It's just dead, dull. So similarly, the mystic powers of these yogis, even Lord Brahma, what to speak of yogis, is insignificant compared to Krishna's. When Krishna's present, then their so-called powers, some of them can produce gold. You had your famous gold producer in India some years ago. Remember? Frizzy hair. He could produce a little gold, apparently. No, I didn't say the name. Sometimes you get this little mystic power. They can walk on water or become very small. Some, yogic power, animo, or something like that. But it's insignificant. Very small. But to normal people, it's very big. To children, a little magic is amazing. You ever take your daughter to a magic show? To her, she's completely, it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, how are they producing, fire out their mouth and rabbits out their pockets and whatever else they do? All kinds of things. And the children are completely captivated by it, mystified. So people are easily mystified by these mystic powers. Mystified. And they praise people like this. It's easy. People are quite simplistic in many ways. Easily be fooled. We'll all be fooled by the material, you could say, promises of persons who appear to have more material power than we do. That they will satisfy you. They will fulfill all your desires. Science will solve all the problems of the world. We're often captivated by this. And even though they don't, we still continue to search for similar, say, heroes. So they're insignificant in the presence of Krishna. So Brahma realized his total insignificant position. He felt absolutely awful. He was bewildered, perplexed. And then Krishna then withdrew his mystic power, and he was just there on the bank of the Yamuna, just walking, looking for his calves and cow boys again. But Brahma realized, and then Brahma came and fell in front of Krishna and offered these prayers to the Lord, begging for his forgiveness. And, he overwhelmed by pride. As we heard earlier on, there was other reasons for this. It wasn't just, he became foolishly overwhelmed with his own power, but he had other purposes involved too, which were positive ones. Again, it's described even though even Brahma, who's the head of our parampara, you can see, and this is orchestrated by Krishna, but still we can see the, maybe teaching a lesson, you can say, but that risk is always there of misunderstanding. No one can fully understand Krishna, no doubt about that. To think that we're powerful in the presence of the Lord, this foolishness. So he thought he'd stolen them away, but if you read the commentary in the 13th chapter, even here, Prabhupada has written that he never actually stole them. He wasn't able to, because Lord Brahma, in the role of Brahma, is not able to actually touch the eternal associates of the Lord. He's not able to touch them. He can see, but he can't touch. He can see what he can see, but he's unable to actually steal them. So Krishna arranged through his Mahamaya to create replica forms of the calves and the cow boys, Mayic forms, and they were the ones stolen by Brahma. They were the ones locked up in the caves. The original ones, nothing really happened. They were still unknowing under Yoga Maya's protection. They were still remaining there in the forest. Time passed like a flash, just like that, as if nothing ever happened. Life just went on. They weren't even aware of the passing of time. So three sets of boys were there, and 3 sets of cows were there. 3 sets. Who can do that? Nobody. Impossible. Only Krishna. So we'll go on then to the first verse. Lord Brahma then came and offered, my dear Lord, you are the only worshipable Lord, the supreme personality of Godhead, and therefore I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. He's not offering them necessarily to, mostly when we offer prayers, we are asking for something, isn't it? He may be asking for something too, but primarily not. No, it's to please you, my Lord. I want to please you. So we usually ask for some boon of some kind or another. I offer my humble obeisances and prayers just to please you. O Son of the King of the Cowherds, your transcendental body is dark blue like a new cloud. Your garment is brilliant like lightning, and the beauty of your face is enhanced by your gunja earrings and the peacock feather on your head. Wearing garlands of various forest flowers and leaves, and equipped with a herding stick, a buffalo horn, and a flute, you stand beautifully with a morsel of food in your hand. When Krishna went into the forest to look for the calves, in his left hand he had a little, holding in his left hand was dry yogurt mixed with rice and some fruits, all mixed together. And he was still standing there when Brahma saw him again, holding this yogurt and rice in his hand. The morsel of food in your hand. There's a purport. In the previous chapter, Brahma, the creator of the universe, tried to bewilder the Supreme Personality of Godhead by stealing his coward boyfriends and calves. But by a slight exhibition of Krishna's own mystic potency, Brahma himself was completely bewildered, and now with great humility and devotion he offers his humble obeisances and prayers unto the Lord. So his humility is, it didn't seem like Brahma was behaving very humble, but now he's come to his senses and he's realized that actually everything comes from Krishna. Humility means that, no, Prabhupada expresses the humility in different ways, but one of the definitions he gives of humility is when we realize that actually absolutely nothing, not our family, not our body, not the world around us, not our mystic powers, nothing can protect us. Only Krishna can protect us. Prabhupada said this is, to the degree that we accept that, that's the degree we're becoming humble. When we understand Krishna is our only protector. Even our parents, they cannot protect us. They try their best, but you ultimately know. The doctors, everyone tries to do their bit, but ultimately only Krishna can protect us. So this is, when we accept that we're thinking we can protect ourselves, but when we understand that this is, you could say, a much deeper and spiritual understanding of humility rather than just the showy humility of this world. Showy. And there are other, of course, definitions of humility also. The word kaval in this verse refers to a morsel of rice mixed with yogurt that Krishna held in his left hand. You can take this chair away, somebody. If somebody wants to sit on it. Would you like to sit on the chair? Would you like a chair? Would you like a chair?
No.
No? Okay, I'm going to put it somewhere.
Anyone wants a chair?
No?
Can I be used because you get paint?
Yeah, go for it. You're in the right place for a chair. Good. According to Sanatana Goswami, the Lord held a cow-herding stick and a buffalo horn pressed under his left arm, and his flute was placed under his belt. Well, you could visualize Krishna here. He's got a cow-herding stick and a buffalo horn pressed under his left arm, and his flute was placed under his belt. Beautiful young Krishna, decorated with multicolored forest minerals, exhibited opulences far greater than those of Vaikuntha. Although Brahma had seen innumerable four-armed forms of the Lord, he now surrendered unto the lotus feet of the two-armed form of Krishna, who appeared as the son of Nanda Maharaj. Brahma offered his prayers to that form. I've got to be careful. I go and put my foot on it because it says Bhakti Vedanta.
So
And then it says Bhagavad Gita. It's okay, I'm not putting it on that part.
Okay.
Putting it somewhere else. Maybe I should put it on this side, below. No, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's better. That's good. Next one. My dear Lord, neither I nor anyone else can estimate the potency of this transcendental body of yours, which has shown such mercy to me, and which appears just to fulfill the desires of your pure devotees. Although my mind is completely withdrawn from material affairs, I cannot understand your personal form. How then could I possibly understand the happiness you experience within yourself? Again, humility, recognizing that the Lord is inconceivable, even to his vast learning, his vast sensual capacity, his vast intellect. He realized there's no way that he can measure the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What to speak of understand the happiness which he's feeling within. Purport. In Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, chapter 14, Srila Prabhupada explains that in the present verse, Lord Brahma expressed the following prayerful sentiment. He said, your appearance as a coward child is for the benefit of the devotees, and although I have committed an offense at your lotus feet by stealing away your boys and calves, I can understand that you have bestowed your mercy upon me. This shows your transcendental quality of being very affectionate toward your devotees. But in spite of your great affection for me, I cannot estimate the potency of your bodily activities. It is to be understood that when I, Lord Brahma, the Supreme Personality of this universe, cannot estimate the childhood body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what to speak of others? And if I cannot estimate the spiritual potency of your childlike body, then what can I understand about your transcendental pastimes? Therefore, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little of the transcendental pastimes, appearance and disappearance of the Lord, immediately becomes eligible to enter the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. So here Prabhupada says even a little. We may not understand all. No one can. Famous verse in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. What is it?
Janma karma
My devyam. Yes, and I believe it was your Guru Maharaj, Sabag Maharaj, that Prabhupada, you heard that before, that Prabhupada said to your Guru Maharaj that this verse is the key verse, Bhagavad Gita.
I didn't have my Guru Maharaj many times point out this verse.
I heard that Prabhupada said it to him.
This way.
That's what may be wrong. It was someone he said it to. I thought it was to Sabag Maharaj, but it may have been someone else. But he also points it out.
So many times he pointed.
Many times. Yeah, it's a key verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Of course, there are many keys, every verse in one sense. And many times Prabhupada would say, this is the key verse, or this is the essential verse, or the main verse, or something. But this is key verse, 4.9 of Bhagavad Gita. One who understands the transcendental nature. It's not just ordinary nature, transcendental nature. Krishna's above and beyond. If we look in the Bhagavad Gita, I think text number maybe 6, 5, 6, something like that. Let's see. Ajopi son of Yayatma, how does it go? Some of you know it. Chapter 4. Chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge. Text number 6. Ajopi son of Ayatma, Bhutanam Ishwaropi son, Prakriting Svamadishtaya, Sambhavam Yatma Mayaya. Although I am unborn, and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. This fourth chapter particularly is aimed at understanding the transcendental nature of the Lord. And Brahma is now realizing that Krishna's mystic potencies are not within the realm of the material energy, they're transcendental. We may not understand them in full, of course not, but we accept them at least. That he is transcendental, inconceivable, he can do anything he likes. And he's unborn. His body is not material, it's transcendental. And he can do what he likes. You can't say, how can God do that? Many times people question, how can God do that? If he's God, how can he look like that? How can he marry 16,000 wives? Many times people ask similar kind of relatively mundane, but questions like that. But that's the nature of God. There's nothing that he cannot do. Everything's within his capacity. So if you question that means we haven't understood the nature of God at all. We can't limit him like that. When he appears in this world, his appearance is not like that of an ordinary child. He appears for out of his own sweet will, for one. Secondly, he can do what he likes there also, but he generally doesn't do that either. He may appear to come out of the womb, but it's not quite like that of a child. It's not like, Vasudeva and Devaki, had some conjugal connections, and a pea was created, and gradually that pea developed into a little tiny embryo and slowly developing. It wasn't like that. Krishna manifested within the womb of Devaki. It wasn't like he was in a dormant condition of helpless child with an umbilical cord or something. But he manifested his full form, as you know. When he did appear in front of Devaki and Vasudeva, he appeared immediately with his four-armed form, Vasudeva Krishna, with all the symbols in his hands, crown on his head, full head of hair, earrings, all the marks, that's everything was there on him when he first appeared. He didn't come out of the mother's womb like an ordinary child, like screaming and unconscious at first, and then the mid-nurse or the nurse smacks the child on the back and starts screaming its head off. Krishna wasn't like that. He just manifested himself before Devaki and Vasudeva, and they stood to kind of worship him because they could see this is their worshipable Lord. Imagine what it would be like if you gave birth to a child with 4 arms, what to speak of everything else. You'd be quite shocked if your son had 4 arms. It was dark blue, especially if you were white-skinned, the boy comes out, blackish blue, and they got 4 arms, and one arm's holding a club, one's holding a disc, one's holding a flower, one's holding a conch. He's got a crown on his head. Where the crown came from? Look at your wife, do you have a crown? Earrings, crowns, fully grown also, not a baby, but fully grown. So they were quite shocked, absolutely shocked to see. You could say, in one sense, not absolutely shocked, but they were astonishingly shocked because they could see this is the Lord himself, so they were paying their respects to the Lord when he appeared. Totally transcendental. Therefore, as it's said in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who can understand a little the transcendental pastimes, appearance and disappearance of the Lord immediately becomes eligible to enter the kingdom of God after quitting the material body. In the same way, Krishna didn't leave the world by ordinary methods. I was just reading actually before we started here from the 12th canto, I can't remember, where Jara, the hunter, when he shoots that arrow thinking that Krishna's foot was part of a deer, and sometimes people say that the arrow entered into Krishna's foot and Krishna left the world, but it wasn't like that. The arrow just skimmed, it says, skimmed the foot of the Lord, just touched the Lord's foot and moved on. But this way the Lord decided to unmanifest his pastimes. He arranged it in such a way to fulfill his purposes. But he didn't die like an ordinary person. He didn't die at all. He just unmanifested his pastimes in this universe. The statement is confirmed in the Vedas, where it is stated, simply by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge, not by speculation. What does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita about how he is to be understood? How do you understand Krishna? Bhaktyamama vijanati yavanyas tasmi tatvadaha. If you know where it is in the 18th chapter. How many of you have got the Bhagavad Gita? Anybody? Anybody have the Bhagavad Gita? Not now. You have one at home, or in your bag or somewhere, on your mobile phone. Okay, you're meeting someone on the street now. You're going to be going out to wherever you're going, Mumbai or Delhi or France or somewhere, wherever you're going, Australia, Govardhan. And you don't have any books with you, what are you going to do? Huh? Somebody asks you, what's this all about? What are you going to do? Give them your mobile? Here, take my mobile, you can read about it. Just give a donation. You got a book. Okay? You know books? How many of you read French? Anyone read French? You do, you do, you do. You're from France. You do. 4 devotees, they all speak French.
We had studied in school.
A little bit at school, yeah.
And college also, but now.
You know 1 or 2 words. Huh? Bonjour you are. Bonjour you are. A few words like that. Bonjour you are. That's French. Yeah. Bonjour you are. Right, Mananda? You have to learn that word. Bonjour you are. It's taking a bit of fun because they're not French. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Well, this is in French, but you have English also. When you meet somebody, what are you going to do? You have no books. Huh? Huh? We were lucky on the plane, we had some books. They were able to distribute some books. I think about 20 books or something from Paris to here.
20 books?
About 20, yeah. 3 Bhagavad Gitas and about 17 other books altogether. Some on the airport in Paris, some on the plane, some on the airport in Delhi. But if you don't have books, you can't distribute them. Not very easily anyway. You might be able to take... There's one devotee in Melbourne. I've forgotten her name. Lady. She got retired from work with a back injury, but she's the biggest book distributor in Melbourne. Yeah. You've got some other interesting characteristics. But anyway, she's the biggest book distributor there. And she goes particularly up to the traffic lights when cars are parked at the traffic, they're stopped at the lights. And she convinces them to buy a Bhagavatam. She sells Bhagavatam sets at the traffic lights. Huh? Yeah. She gets them to agree to take a set, to give the money at the lights, and then she delivers them to them in their home later on. Pardon?
Yes.
Yeah. She gets them to pay at the traffic lights. Because you know, you just got to tap your phone on that square box and it's all over. They have all these quick methods nowadays, isn't it? You've got a mobile, just tap it there, 150 euros. Snap. Hey, what have I just done? You know? And she delivers the Bhagavatam sets. During this recent Bhagavad campaign, she did 209 Bhagavatam sets on her own. 209. Elderly lady, quite old. Yeah, she's enthusiastic to distribute Prabhupada's books. Even though she had no books, she was still able to sell books. So you can do that, but you've got to be really...
No books.
Huh?
No books.
Well, no, she was selling them, just give the money, I'll bring the books to her. She was able to convince people. You know, I mean, where's the proof that she's going to bring the books?
Yes.
You know, you could just be a beggar, you know, taking the money. But some of that she does it. I mean, she sells books other ways too, but that's one of the ways she does it. Traffic lights. I think they'd probably run you over in Paris if you tried to do that in Paris. They'd probably rev up and run you over in their car, you know, crushed. But in Australia, they're a little bit more reasonable. And they got a bit of money too. So yeah. So, in the Bhagavad Gita in the 18th chapter, Krishna says, this is 1855. You can see in the 11th chapter also the same point is mentioned. But in 1855 is the famous one, isn't it? What does Krishna say? In 1855, not 60. Hey, have you got it on your mobile? You're reading it on your mobile. This is cheating. Totally cheating. Totally cheating. Totally cheating. That's the problem with mobiles. They allow you to cheat. 1855, what is it? Bhaktimam abhijananti. Tiktadiham. Tatomam tattvato gyatva vishate tadanash. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion, he can enter the kingdom of God. And a very nice purport, you have to read it to that verse. A very nice purport, quite extensive. And the whole section there is dealing with this, how one can understand him, how to understand Krishna and come to the point of absorption in Krishna. The same conclusion is there at the end of the 11th chapter, which is, surprisingly enough, universal form, which doesn't indicate in of itself devotional service, but at the end of the chapter, the Lord says to Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear." What happened when Arjuna saw that Krishna, in his original form, Krishna showed his universal form, then he showed his four-armed form, then he showed his two-armed form. So Arjuna is now seeing the two-armed form. When saw that Krishna in his original form, he said, "O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and restored to my original nature." The form, then Krishna says, "The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am." And then, "My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am. standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Only through devotional service. Never understood otherwise. At the end of the chapter 18, Krishna says that this Bhagavad Gita cannot be explained to those who are not devotees. And as Emil was saying earlier on today, he gave Bhagavad Gita to his father, and his father said, I couldn't understand anything. There's various reasons. People are not engaged. That's why engagement in devotional service is the process of, let's say, evoking the mercy of Krishna and clearing our hearts so that we can actually see. Though we can't see it, even though it's there, we may repeat the verse, but we can't see it exactly. The knowledge is there, but we cannot see it. It's not revealing itself to us. Through devotional service, practical application of service. Only through devotional service, Krishna says. Several times this is a point brought up in the Gita. We'll just finish that purport and then we'll have to finish them. This statement is confirmed in the Vedas, where it is stated, simply by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can overcome the chain of repeated birth and death. I therefore recommend that people should not try to understand you by their speculative knowledge. When Brahma disrespected the supreme status or status, how do you say, status or status?
Status.
Some people say status, some say status. Status.
Both are British pronunciation and
Is it? I don't even know what British is anymore. I'm not sure if it's status or status.
Status.
I think in America it's more status, isn't it? I think so. When Brahma disrespected the supreme status of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna first bewildered him by exhibiting the Lord's own transcendental power. Then, having humbled his devotee Brahma, Krishna gave him his personal audience. Now, that's another aspect of Krishna protecting his devotees, or loving his devotees. He takes away their pride, which he did with Indra the other day, and he humbles the devotee. Pride also of Brahma was there. He humbled him also. This is the mercy of the Lord. We may think, as Braja Bihari was saying from this morning, how sometimes, we get expectations of something and they don't come forth, and we don't see how Krishna's mercy is working in those situations. And then later on you realize, like a child, he doesn't appreciate, or she doesn't appreciate, the parents stopping their play and making them do their homework or go to school or something. But later on they may realize that if they didn't, they would have no education. And they would end up with not being able to get, generally speaking, not being able to get a decent job. So, parents know better, so to speak, materially speaking there, to educate their children for their future. They're not doing it because they're cruel to their children, because they're thinking of their welfare in the long term. And Krishna arranges various situations that will come up later in the prayers of Lord Brahma, but different situations where he takes away obstacles and puts his devotee in a helpless position sometimes, so that they can choose what they like, but if they're devotional, they will surrender. There'll be a situation favorable for their progress in spiritual life. Krishna's always arranging that, either removing our attitudinal imperfections or misunderstandings, or taking away things which are obstacles on our path in various ways. And of course he's also positively providing the opportunity to associate and so on in a favorable way to help us in our progress in spiritual life. When Brahma disrespected the supreme status of the person, the Lord first bewildered him by exhibiting the Lord's own transcendental power. Then, having humbled his devotee Brahma, Krishna gave him his personal audience. So unless one's humble, one can never have that audience. According to Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Lord Krishna's transcendental body can also function through the agency of his plenary expansions, called Vishnu Tattva, as stated by Brahma himself in the Brahma Samhita, Angani Yasya Sakalendriya Vitimanti. This verse indicates not only that the Lord can perform any bodily function with any of his limbs, but also that he can see through the eyes of any living entity. So he's got his own personal, but he can also see through others too. He can see through the eyes of function. Nor can perform any function with one of his senses. In his transcendental pastimes, as Sri Krishna, he generally sees with his eyes, touches with his hands, hears with his ears, and so on. Thus he behaves like the most beautiful and charming young cowherd boy. Appears just like a human being in many ways, but then sometimes he shows his supreme position as Godhead. The Vedic knowledge expands from Lord Brahma, who is described in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam as Adi Kavi, the primeval Vedic scholar. Yet Brahma could not understand the transcendental body of Lord Krishna, because it is beyond the reach of ordinary Vedic knowledge. Among all the transcendental forms of the Lord, the two-armed form of Govinda, Krishna, is original and supreme. Thus Lord Govinda's pastimes of stealing butter, drinking the gopis' breast milk, tending the calves, playing with his flute and playing childhood sports are extraordinary even in comparison with the activities of the Lord's Vishnu expansions. End of purport. So we have to finish there. Any comments or questions? Emil?
I have a question. Why you say there is only 16 demons quoted in the Bhagavatam, but Prabhupada say 2 or 3, but why in any other authorized scriptures we know they don't talk about?
We don't hear much about the apparent appearance of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, there's many things we don't hear. That which is relevant is revealed. That which is relevant. Prabhupada also described how the Bhagavatam in this world is only a small, what was revealed to us is only a small, just a sample of the Bhagavatam. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. There's only a little tiny drop is revealed to us. That which is relevant, particularly. These particular demons who were sent by Kamsa specifically, they do represent various kinds of anarthas that have to be removed in our progress in devotional service. So they have to be killed. So other demons may represent, I'd say, sub-anarthas, but these ones represent maha-anarthas. And they have to be killed. But yeah, there could be more. There could be less. Could whatever is revealed is revealed. Lord Vyasadeva has revealed what he's revealed, and that's what's required for the purpose of our endeavors to render service. In certain numbers, I don't know the exact number, maybe 16 or more, a few more maybe, not many. 20, how many of you? Yeah, 20, 21, 24, something. Can't remember, pastimes are mentioned. And of those, you got like the twin Arjuna trees, which are kind of demons, but not really demons. And the demoniac mentality was there. Brahma, Indra, the forest fire. In one sense, you could say they're demoniac, but they're not like Aghasura or Kaliya somehow. Direct demons. Yeah, so the Lord and his representatives, they reveal to us accordingly what is necessary. Maybe there are more mentioned elsewhere. I don't know. Have you read anything elsewhere of other demons who attacked Vrindavan? Or tried to? Couldn't really enter into Vrindavan real, but they appear to on the surface at least. It's like they come to the border of Vrindavan or something. On that line Krishna kills them in the form of Krishna, but actually Lord Vishnu is the one who kills them, not Vasudeva Krishna, not Vrindavan Krishna, son of Vasudeva and Devaki, kills them. Yeah. Anything else?
You said Mama, the head of our parampara, was unable to recognize who Krishna is. So, small living entity like us from the same parampara, how can we recognize or understand who Krishna is?
How can?
We understand or recognize who Krishna is.
When he reveals himself, he reveals himself accordingly. As they surrender unto me, I reveal myself accordingly. To our surrender, Krishna reveals himself. We can't analyze him, we can't measure him, we can't force him. He has his free will. He reveals himself to the one he chooses, but generally the one he chooses is the one, that has no other desire but to please him or to please his devotee. He goes through the parampara by pleasing the pure devotee of the Lord, and the Lord is obligated, if you serve the servant of God, it's even more pleasing to God than to serve him directly. So by serving the devotees of the Lord is very pleased. He's kind of obligated to his devotees, so if the devotee puts a good word in for you, for sure Krishna will be reciprocate. And how we said was reciprocation may not always be, let's say, what we normally say, maybe positive, it might be negative, taking things away which are obstacles, frustrating us, bringing us to the point of humility, like he frustrated Indra. Here he's frustrating Brahma, to bring us to our senses, to bring us to humility. It's not something which we can ourselves make. Sometimes people say, I want to see God. If God exists, then show me, then I'll believe in him. He doesn't reciprocate like that type of challenging mentality in one sense, when there's true humility in the heart. Anything else? So you're leaving tomorrow morning, back to Delhi. When are you coming back again?
Well, I have to check your schedule and we will plan accordingly.
Yeah, we're here to the 15th or something like that. Something like that. You keep in touch with Mahananda Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah. When to go back to Mumbai?
Yes, Maharaj.
Huh?
On 7th.
7th?
Yes.
In a week or so. So Kartik is coming to a close. I think on Sunday is Ekadashi. Take advantage of this few days that are left if you can. It's so easy to get caught up in all kinds of things. I try to utilize this time for hearing and chanting as much as we can. Kirtan, hearing and chanting. Krishna Katha. You can go on Parikrama, of course, anytime. But at the same time, try to make sure it's a very focused. We're not sightseers. We're not holiday makers. Don't try to spend less time only on the mobile as much as necessary for important things, but not just for the sake of it. It's like an addiction sometimes. You can't, your hand has to hold the mobile. It's like your daughter, you pull her mouse down and puts it straight back in, hand down. Straight back. It's like that with the mobile, you put it down, we pick it up. Put it down and pick it up. Never stops. He's using a paper and pen, normally uses his mobile. He uses it for a good reason. Hopefully anyway. He writes very quickly on the mobile. And he translates, as I say, into French and writes it down and types it into his mobile. Now the kids do these things. Yes. Otherwise this addiction, you become a zombie, they call zombie. Mobile zombie. Yeah, can't put it down hardly for a minute, you know. Always on there, texting. I saw some people on the roof this afternoon. I was chanting on the roof upstairs. And there's one young devotee couple. They must have spent 30 minutes with their mobile taking selfies on the roof. In different angles, you know. This thing, that thing. Not the best way to use your Kartik, you know. It could be worse, it could be a lot worse, but you know. But there are better ways of spending your Kartik than that. Hare Krishna. So, nobody speaks French except for the team with us today. You do speak English, I think, I hope. Otherwise you just wasted the last hour and a half. Don't speak a word of English. Nothing's wasted. Maybe you've seen this one, In Essence. You seen this book? Has everyone seen it? You've seen it?
I've heard about it, not seen
You've heard about it? Whoa!
One of my friends.
Rukmini heard about Krishna. Because she heard about Krishna, she had to get Krishna. So you've heard about In Essence. You have to get In Essence now. Okay. You had one, Jai Radhika? No, you take one. You gave very kindly this morning. Here, give one to Jai Radhika. It's a simple book which you can use in preaching. Eh? It's compiled by Keshava Maharaj, Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj, to help the preachers a little bit, you know, some proper answers to simple questions. And it's also, we distribute it as a book, particularly in countries where they believe in God or there's some interest in God, like France, for instance, where everybody loves God and you're all glorifying religion. And the first thing they say, it's religion, isn't it? It's definitely religion, right? Of course it is. Oh, okay, I'll take that. It's all about God. Oh, fantastic! Give me the book. How much is it? They can't hold back if you mention the word God or religion there. Yeah, it's not necessarily the right one for France so much. But most countries are a little bit more reasonable. Italy's so good. I was telling the boys yesterday.
You went there, is it?
Yeah, I was there last week.
15
Beginning of last week I was there.
I miss it.
Huh?
I miss it.
Yeah, I was in Florence, you know. I mean, they didn't hear it, you guys have heard it, but we were on Harinam in the city. Florence is a tourist city. Hundreds of thousands of tourists. It's packed with tourists. So many tourists. And big car park, a big shopping mall under the station where we started. Big one. I mean, we had to go like 15 minutes for the shopping mall to get out onto the street. So we're chanting there on the way out. I said, can you, this is okay, you can do it. They're banging on the drums with microphones, speakers, very loudly. And distributing books, you know. No problem, everyone's laughing and smiling at us. Came out onto the street for a few hours and went back again. Down into the shopping mall to go to the car park, which is the other end of the shopping mall. We got right to the end and then the police came. They said, what are you doing here? This is a car park. You shouldn't be coming here in cars. You should be coming in bullock carts. They said that to us. You are the Hare Krishnas. You should be riding bullock carts, not cars. The police said that to us, yeah. Just like France, huh? Isn't it? Yeah, some countries are very pious. Italy is definitely amongst the pious countries. In that sense, they're very religious and appreciative, pious people, more than most countries in Europe. Northern Europe is less. So. And France has kind of got the worst of both worlds. Those who are pious are fanatics, and those who aren't are, out and out atheists. They're either fanatics, Muslim or Catholic, and they're just out to get you, put you down, or they're complete atheists, and they're also. But in India, other places. So you've got to take one, okay?
I'm reading the Gita by Maharaj.
Huh?
I've not completed the Gita yet. So.
Forget the mobile.
Okay.
The mobile is
I'm
dead.
reading the Gita by Maharaj. Maharaj signed it.
Oh, this one here.
Mumbai.
Give me. This one here, there's many volumes. Whoops. This one?
Not this one.
The Bhagavad Gita.
3. No,
Another one.
that one I'm reading still.
Yeah.
Preaching only.
He's really a preacher, isn't he?
Okay.
He really reaches out to people and finds ways to capture their attraction, their attention. This is a simple one. Questions and answers. The trap. This is for beginners, really. I heard. This is for beginners. Is that right? Someone told me that this morning.
It's good for everyone.
Is it?
Preaching, yeah.
Yes,
It has
it's good.
exercises and all that.
Huh?
I think this is not the one with
But this
exercises.
is not the one.
There are many. There's quite a few of them. Because this is
Very nice.
signed by him. Signed by him. It's not really signed. It's printed. It's the printed sign. Very nice. Nice cover.
Digital sign.
Be digital. It'd be nice, but it's so expensive. It's all color throughout. Easy book to read. It looks easy anyway. Anything else? Have you got one, haven't you? In essence, I gave you one. You got this Gita Life? Give it to them. There you go. It's nice, very easy. When your daughter grows up also it'll be easier for her to relate to the Gita. Lessons of Gita, it's living Gita live. Very simple. You have these books, in essence, you have? No?
No, Mother.
You like one?
Yes.
There.
Thank you, Mother.
Pleasure. You can give your donation to Giriraj. No way. So you've got Lord Nityananda? Who's got Lord Nityananda? You guys have got. Here. Give him Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda. I gave you last time, didn't I? Behind it.
You gave us.
I gave you. No, probably behind there. Did you get Jairadhika?
No.
Give Jairadhika also. One more. You got one, Madhuri? You got one? I gave you one.
Yes.
You got one? You got one? Okay, everyone's got one. Everyone's got one? Okay. We have some Mahaprasadam from, it oughtn't fall down here, survival. Who's giving it back?
Everyone else.
Pardon?
Everyone else got.
You got? Huh?
March, can I give it to my friend? She also does.
She wants to give it to her
done
friend.
with us.
Yeah. Lord Nityananda. Not everyone. No, it's very confidential. Not everyone's able to get his mercy. They won't get to Krishna without Lord Nityananda. You can't get to Krishna without Lord Chaitanya. Come. This is from Srinathji in Udaipur. Or wherever it is. Nathdwar. Nathdwar. Come on. Nathdwar Mahaprasad. Rama Rama Hare Hare Bolo Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Oop, Hare Ram. Went down somewhere. Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare
Who's playing the harmonium?
on his phone. Look,
No way.
he's playing on his phone. It's amazing.
Anybody else? Everyone's got? Everyone had? Hare,
Anyone didn't got?
Hare Krishna. We have some Maha from Paris also, wasn't it? Oh, you didn't get? How was it you didn't get?
We are leaving now because I have to put her to bed.
Yeah, she got to go to